Sure. Yeah, we'd be glad to.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm a amateur. Okay, is it on?
We're taping now, yeah.
All right.
Is it blinking?
Yes.
Yeah, rookies.
Sorry, I'm the
I had
wife.
to marry her to get Dennis to come to work. You don't have to stand up. You're okay. You probably know all the answers anyway.
She does.
Do I need to participate or should I just watch?
No.
Come on, come on in.
You're
Brian.
fine.
Come on in.
You're fine.
Okay.
Okay. So,
watch the show.
first of all, would you consider John Piper et al., all the speakers here, would you consider them Calvinists per se?
Yeah, it seems like even if they didn't call themselves explicitly Calvinists, that the doctrines that they affirm were doctrines of grace, that they would be in that camp.
Okay. And how about you guys? Would you consider yourself Calvinists?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. So here are the 7 questions. Question number 1. Do we keep ourselves saved by preaching the gospel to ourselves every day? Do we keep ourselves saved by preaching the gospel to ourselves every day?
Yeah, the question is tricky because it goes back to the whole thing of the ends and the means. And so certainly we are preserved as a sovereign work of God, but certainly that doesn't diminish or minimize the responsibility at all of perseverance, you know what I mean? Which part of that would include preaching the gospel to ourselves. And so...
So that would be a perseverance in sanctification.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, if I'm understanding the question correctly. So in answer to the question, yes and no. Yes with a little asterisk. Yes in one sense, but in another sense, that's part of the form. That's part of the equation.
Let me ask it this way. Is preaching the gospel to ourselves primarily a sanctification help, or is it to keep ourselves saved?
Yeah.
Well, even though the language of keeping yourself saved is, I think, an incorrect way to put it. Because,
You would reject that.
Because I don't keep myself saved. God saved me. He saved me by His grace.
Once saved, always saved.
But see, that's also I wouldn't say that because that can also be taken incorrectly as well.
Yeah, that doesn't go far enough.
No, that doesn't go far. So
Okay.
I would say that I don't do anything to keep myself saved. God is the one who saved me.
Okay.
He's the one who keeps me safe. But that doesn't exclude my obedience, and that doesn't exclude my faithfulness to God and my responsibility to persevere.
Would you
But
say that evidences your salvation and the
Right.
continuance of your salvation?
That's
Okay. Let me slip another question in. Okay. I'm cheating here.
Is this in
I'm
addition?
slipping
Is this
with-
in addition to the
Yes,
9?
it is. If I may. When we obey in the Christian life, is that something that we're merely experiencing that Jesus has done for us? Or, is this a situation like when we obey, it's really Jesus obeying and kind of like standing in the rain? You're feeling the rain, it's cold, you're experiencing the rain, but of course you're not the one making it rain.
It's happening to you.
It's happening, that's a great way of putting it. It's happening to you rather than you doing it to the metaphysical world.
Yeah. Again, the question winds up being at first a bit slippery because you have to be really careful and fine tune the way you answer it. What we experience, what the Christian life is this demand of Jesus to obey. Right? This responsibility to obey everything that He has commanded, and yet, what does Paul say in Galatians 2:20? I have been crucified with Christ. It is not I who live, but Christ lives in me. The life which I now live, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and delivered Himself for me. Paul says, when he's talking about the other apostles, he says, I labored more than all of them. I labored more than all of them.
Okay.
But not I, the grace of God within me. And so what we're wrestling with is mystery, right? This tension of absolute responsibility to obey. We are slaves of Jesus. What do slaves do? They obey their master.
Right.
And yet, at the same time, we just say, that's the glory of the new covenant, right? Ezekiel 36:26. I will cause you to walk in my statutes. That's the glory of the new covenant, that everything that God commands and demands of us, He Himself produces in us, and yet that does not negate or minimize the responsibilities we've been called.
Okay.
So it's a tricky question. You're not trying to be tricky, I hope, but
No.
but you know what I mean. It requires a fine-tuned.
I've been accused of that, but today I'm not doing it.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, third question, okay. Do we need to be reconciled to God daily in a saving way?
I would say just keep it simple now.
No? Okay. All right. Question four. Question four. Are Christians totally depraved?
No. I would say they've been made alive, they've been regenerated
That's
through the power of the
qualitative
Holy
difference.
Spirit. Were they? Yes. Are they apart from the Spirit? That is an unanswerable question because Christians are never apart from the Holy Spirit, right?
There's a distinct qualitative difference between who we were. and who we are.
That's how I put it.
So that would be no.
I would almost suggest that. Just because I know that by nature I'm still a sinner. By
Right.
nature,
Apart from the
I'm apart
sovereign
from
grace
Christ,
of
but
God.
I will never, as a Christian, be apart from that grace ever again. So, therefore, I'm not totally depraved because God has taken out the heart of stone, like He says in Ezekiel, and put it in flesh.
Apart from sovereign grace.
But apart from sovereign grace, yeah, of course.
Question five. Are Christians still under the law for justification? Another way of stating that would be, is law keeping a standard to be considered justified?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Do pastors have the authority to forgive sins?
No.
No. Okay. Do you believe this is a run-on sentence? Okay. 7. Do you believe that the New Testament Christian life is the Old Testament Sabbath, i.e., if we do works in our Christian life, we will die spiritually?
What does that mean?
I see what you're saying. Just like Christian life is resting in the work of
A Sabbath rest.
Right.
Do
It's
you
like a
believe
consistent,
the Christian
constant
life
Sabbath rest.
is a Sabbath rest?
I don't think
From
there's
works.
any comparison, and I can't think of any comparison in the New Testament to
Yeah.
the Sabbath to the Christian life. So I would never
Okay.
make that connection because the Bible
Yeah,
doesn't
I've never
make that
thought of
connection.
that connection.
All right. Well, that's the end of the 7 questions, and we're, of course, documenting people's answers to this. We've been researching these issues for about 7 years.
Oh, wow.
There's a book online that's been written that documents. I'm not going to say fact. That's a little bit presumptuous. But the thesis of the book is that John Calvin answers from the Calvin Institutes, that John Calvin answers every one of these questions yes. Okay? So, this is a conversation piece. Gets people thinking. Okay? So we're researching, trying to get people thinking. What you can do, you can go online and you guys can get a couple too. Okay? And the book can actually be viewed for free at that web address on the bottom. Okay? And you can go through. There's a slideshow there. And if you do a contact list, okay, if you go to where it says contact on the website, and you contact us and give your mailing address and put offer 221 in there, we'll send you a copy of the book for free. If you want additional copies, you can request up to 2 or 3 copies. Okay. Basically, the book is mostly documentation from books that John Piper has written, but mostly from the Calvin Institutes.
Yeah.
It cites specific passages on the Calvin Institutes, especially on the question of Sabbath rest in the Christian.
And,
Okay.
and then is this like what would you say is kind of